So if we had to go into India to Mumbai, we required a passport. We were not protected when the integration of Goa happened with India. So Goa was integrated into the Indian on 19 December, but after a 500-year rule. This is important. The Britishers ruled over 565 princely states and 17 provinces. British never ruled India. We have a wrong misconception in our mind that the British were ruling India. There was no India before 1947. But when the independence happened, then they brought all the states together and called it as India when handing over. And in 1973, they introduced a line system to protect the minority indigenous ethnic groups in the hills areas by restricting outsiders' entry. Now, what was happening? Lot of Indian migration was happening because of the British administration. They observed that a lot of Indians were going and settling in the Northeast. They feared that one day the footprint of Northeast may change the way it is happening today in Goa. So to protect that, they brought in inner line system in 1873. After independence, the Indian government continued with this inner line system. They didn't remove it, but continued to protect the same part of India, the Northeast, through an Article 371 for Mizoram in 1987, much after our independence. In Nagaland, Article 371A was introduced in 1963. And in that, not only the inner line permit was retained, but their lands also were now not to be sold to any outsiders. Autonomy to village councils, like we have the Comunidad, were given full autonomy, which we have withdrawn in Goa through the land revenue code that is quoting. And like that, the social practices, land ownership, all were also protected. Nagaland, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh and Manipur. Manipur, you must remember, they got it as recent as in 2019. So even after an afterthought, maybe they have realized that Manipur also needs to be protected. So ILP was extended to Manipur on 11 December when President Ramnath Kovind was in his office. So things have been happening recently also to protect the Northeast. We also were protected. The Portuguese also issued us a passport, which was called a billet. So if we had to go into India, to Mumbai or Karnataka, anywhere, we required a passport because we were an independent, separate state as part of the Portuguese government. Things have been happening recently also to protect the Northeast, and the Indian government gave them this benefit. This way, the government, central government is trying to protect its different inhabitants in different parts of the Indian Union.